gap sound, which sounds crazy on kickoff, but you actually have to have gaps because we're all on the same level. We got to be dialed in. It's going to be fun.
Massive news this morning out of Gainesville. The FHSAA unanimously passed name, image, and likeness for high school athletes in the state of Florida. It's right now 89 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
I would clean that bone about as good as anything.
Matt Hayes.
The guys they had last year? Terrible.
And Leon Searcy.
Mama know that when you get to camp, you ain't going to see a lot of Big Daddy.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Mandatory mini camp next week for you Jacksonville Jaguars, so that definitely will be one that we'll have our eyes on. And, I always like to hear the references that we have in our open, and so Big Searcy gets referenced quite a bit, but I'll reference my own line when I said I'd clean that bone about as good as anybody, because Matt Hayes has smoked up some delicious chicken thighs. Big Searcy, you already had yours, correct?
No.
Just wait for you to heat those up.
Don't be taking that whole thing. Leon didn't get his.
See how he tried to sneak me that quick? That's me if I already had mine. I saw it.
I thought this was mine.
No, one's for you and one's for me.
All right, well then and Coach Campo is going to be looking like.
That Coach can have some of mine.
We all need to be.
That's Kane's share.
But as soon as you open this up, and let me see, like YouTubers, you guys on the stream. I mean, look at that. That just smells and looks. And this is competition, by the way. When they have that sauce draped on the top of it. I cannot wait for the 4th of July.
I can't believe how he jumped right on that and said, well, you've had yours already, Leon.
Right.
He tried to sneak me, Coach. He tried to get me.
Okay. Let's yelling him out.
And I always like to wait till after my smoothie, but now that I know that I got to share it, Searcy's like, I'm hungry. Bring this on. But I got to put a little microwave in there.
Yeah,
you're right with that.
A little smoke with it, yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. Welcome in. Hey, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. We are ready to rock and roll. Go find us on YouTube. You can search 1010XL. You can hang out there. Coach Campo is with us for this first hour. We just finished up our Campo and Joe podcast, which you can find on the social channels. We got all things to get into, Jaguar-related, OTAs, and Trevor commented on his contract yesterday, so we want to get into that a little bit. But I got to start off with this first thing. You said it. NIL is coming to high school.
Absolutely. I saw it this morning. I was thrown back. I mean, they voted on it. They approved it. Now, NIL money is going to high school kids. Which I think it's going to be a little frustrating. You think it's off the rails in college. It's going to be off the chain in high school. You're talking about high school coaches in the state of Florida who already don't make that kind of money.
No.
And now they're going to have to coach kids who are going to make it 20, 30, 50 grand a year.
Hey, it's one thing, Coach, to have somebody look at you like a professional player and go, I make more money than you.
Yeah.
Now because Denmark was walking out of the podcast studio when we were walking in. And what does Denmark coach? He's Pride of Baldwin.
Right.
What does he coach, Matt? Does he coach?
He's like an assistant. I think he's a DB's coach. I'm not sure. But he's an assistant over there.
But he's like
some sort.
These kids have an opportunity to make more than me. It's crazy.
You know the best thing about that is that I'm not coaching anymore because I don't want to be in that situation.
I told you guys this was coming, man. You can't once the college guys are allowed to have it, there's no way they're going to keep it from the high school kids. It is fraught with complications. There's no doubt about it.
Okay,
you're talking about giving a lot of money to 16-year-old kids, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids.
So I'd like
don't even know what a checking account is.
No, they
right?
don't.
Don't even know what a lot of them don't know what an ATM card is. They just use like Apple Pay.
Yeah.
I know what they do know. They know how to spin.
Yes, that's kind of the point. It's going to get kind of nasty up in this thing,
oh
Leon.
My goodness.
So you can go to YouTube and you can stream us there. And if you're, I'm interested in what coaches, what parents think about this. If you have any idea about it, if you are a coach on the First Coast or anywhere for that matter.
What do you think our boy Jamie Bradford thinks about this?
Yeah, exactly. Just we'll probably have to get him on, but just text us or get in the chat on the YouTube and let us know, because are you prepared for it? Were you expecting it? Is it no big deal? Because there's a lot of support that high school sports already need, because we always talk about funding, and there are people that are donating left and right to keep their kids in a team environment. But now if you're starting to sign kids, that could cause some problems.
Yeah, well, listen, they're already recruiting high school. Let's just be real. They recruit kids
that is
from high
true.
school
They've been doing that forever.
They've been doing that forever, all right? Kids move and maneuver. But now these kids have incentive now. They have incentive. And all these major corporations, whoever their alumni base is with the college, now it's going to filter down into the high schools. Because, listen, one of my favorite coaches of all time is Coach Gerke at Orlando Evans. I mean, he molded me. When I made it to the NFL, he get anything he wanted, he got from me. Mm-hmm. New gym, locker room, weight room, all that kind of.
He recruited too, by the way.
Well, he didn't
recruit me. He got the kids from Apopka to come down.
Oh, he did. Stop it. You know what I'm
saying?
No,
he did,
No, he
man.
did not. Yeah, what are you trying to say? Well, he coached at Apopka. Maybe he did.
And then he went to Apopka,
Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't recruit me. He built me.
I know you're going to have a bunch more agents running around because all the parents are going to be agents now.
Yeah.
Well, and you figure there are some sports that kids are ready to play at a younger level, because football is so physical. That's why they have this rule 3 years removed from high school before you can play the professional game. But you'll have tennis stars, you'll have golf stars, you can come up with a couple of other ones that would qualify, where these potential agents will be looking in on these kids and trying to figure out, hey, if I sign this kid right now, what could he turn? And just start thinking about some of the good athletes that we've turned out in Jacksonville and Duval, Olympic swimmers. Think about Caleb Dressel. Some of these, there's a lot of possibilities here. Yeah. I don't know how you handle it, but again, if you're a high school coach, coaching any sport, just let us know, 641-1010. We would like to jump in on it. All right, so a couple other things that we need to get into today. The comment that Trevor Lawrence had yesterday about getting his contract done. I wonder what people think about that. RJ, find that comment from him, and we'll play it. But do you think, Coach, that he's poised to have a bounce-back year, healthy, and 100% is the hope for every Jaguar fan out there? And he knows that the contract is a big deal, but he's trying to minimize it right now and say it's not that. He said, no matter what, I have a job. Anyway, how do you think of at least what you've heard from him so far to this point?
Well, I trust him. I mean, if you look at the guys that are trying to make money and that type of thing, that have an overinflated confidence in who they are, I don't see Trevor that way. I think Trevor has common sense. He understands that he is who he is. He knows he has to play better. He knows he's got to do all those other things. Right. But I think he believes that he's going to be the franchise quarterback here for the next 7, 8, whatever it is, years it is. So I trust him that he's going to perform whether or not he has the money or not. But just think about how much better you feel if the team shows you that you're the franchise quarterback.
Now,
job security.
Yeah, absolute job security.
Yep.
You know, I will be interested to see in the locker room how it's perceived that Trevor gets his contract, because Josh Allen, he earned his contract.
Yeah.
All right. There's nobody in that locker room can say when you get 17.5 sacks and you do what he did, guys expect that guy to get the bank.
Tied for league lead, everything.
Absolutely. And now Trevor, everybody knows that Trevor's the franchise quarterback, but in the locker rooms they're whispers, because Trevor didn't play too well down the stretch. I mean, it's almost like the Jaguars have to do the contract, but some guys in the locker room say, did Trevor earn the contract? And that's I'm just telling you in the locker room, although I'm just telling you how things could be perceived if he gets this contract, if he gets this inflated contract worth $300 million and stuff like that. I'm just telling you, in the locker room, they would never say it publicly. But go ahead.
All I was saying was, what else? What else are the Jags going to do? I mean, are they going to pay him $200,000? Then they'll feel $200 million. Then they'll feel better than that.
No.
Right. So
no, I'm just be chattering.
You say all the time. You stay out of my pocket. You say that all the time.
Absolutely. But I know. But in locker rooms, you know who earned the bag and who got the bag. Josh earned the bag. He gets more respect.
So let me ask you this then.
In the locker room because of how he performed.
All right. And on that level, I'll ask you this: when Christian Kirk came his first year, were there people in that locker room saying, "Whoa"?
First of all, when Christian Kirk we didn't have anybody in there.
No, but still, he was paid a lot of money.
Yeah, because
for a guy that caught 60 balls.
True. I mean, but I'm saying in the locker, I mean, we overpaid.
He was lived up to the contract. He's a really good player.
Yeah, he is a really good player. I mean, we overpaid for Chris Kirk because our roster was depleted. We needed someone like that.
Right.
Yeah, so no, I'm not saying.
So you think players know that then?
The players know that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
What other Jaguar quarterback has led the team to 2 back-to-back winning seasons?
Lamar Brunell led them to 4.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
You know, so I mean, there is some, and
there's some merit.
I'm not disputing what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is some merit that what he's done to this point is worth if you feel like the future is there.
All right, so fire up the first comment from Trevor as far as the contract and how he's viewing it right now. And basically, he's taken a little bit of the standard line, but here was 16 yesterday.
I'm aware of what's going on, but I try to keep my focus on doing my job out here. I have full belief that'll take care of itself, and that's not something that I need to worry about. That's why I pay people and hire people to do that for me. So that's not my job. But obviously I know what's going on. I'm aware of the situation. I think that's important too. But yeah, I try to keep all my focus and energy on being the best player I can be to help us win.
And
I believe him.
Yeah,
I believe him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I believe the guy.
Yeah, and I think he's at peace with the idea that he knows it's coming no matter what.
Right.
He's in line, and then the question is, and maybe we can make this our Twitter poll, our X poll today, RJ, with the idea, who gets that contract first, Tua or Trevor, and just kind of get a feel for what Jaguar fans are thinking. But here's the second comment: would it be ideal for him to have it wrapped up, done before they put pads on?
I mean, yeah, I think that would be ideal, just to put it behind us and keep moving and feel good about that going into training camp. But either way, like I've said before, I have the same job, so I can't always control all those factors, but I have the same job to do either way. But yeah, I mean, I would, of course, that'd be ideal, is to get it done as soon as you can and kind of move forward.
So we always have the joke, Leon, that a guy that is into a contract year is going to play his fanny off, and then we also maybe joke from time to time, once a guy gets paid, that he might come off the accelerator a little bit. Do you think Trevor, if he does get his contract?
No, it was ideal. It was interesting thing that you said just now. You said Trevor, he feels that he's going to get paid no matter what. Yeah. I mean, that for Josh Allen, that was not the case. If Josh Allen, if he come around last season and had 6.5, 7 sacks, he's not getting that money.
Right.
I mean, quarterbacks are treated.
Right,
quarterbacks are treated better.
They are. So your point is, why shouldn't Trevor Lawrence have to prove it? Why did Josh Allen have to prove it? Why shouldn't Trevor Lawrence have to prove it? That's your point.
That's true.
That's
I think he does have to prove it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. But I also think the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
They're not letting him go before the season
I know that. What Joe just said. He knows he's going to get paid no matter what, and that's a little troubling to me because Josh Allen had to come in last year and get it done to get his back.
And that's the number 2 position, really, when you think about it. It's quarterback, then rush guy.
And rush, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
And like we talked about with Justin Jefferson yesterday, the amount of money that he's got guaranteed now, and you take a look at just the absolute fat cash, $110 million guaranteed. But just to hit the numbers real quick, and we went through this yesterday, you can't get over it. You can't minimize it. Nico gets $72.5 million. Devonta, $75 million. Mike Evans, we forgot to mention him yesterday. He was one of the first guys out of the box with $82.5 million. Jalen in the $85 million range. A.J. Brown got $96 million. Amon-Ra, $120 million, and then Justin Jefferson, $140 million. Woo! And so those averages, Justin Jefferson just barely passed Nick Bosa as the highest non-quarterback paid player, Coach. But now you're talking about Trevor. This goes back to the original part of this. He's going to get in that 52, 53 million range.
If
and
you
didn't have necessarily.
If you took, and in deference to what Leon just was saying, I agree with him. Those guys you're talking about have proven what they can do. Now, the quarterback position, though, when you look at the quarterback position, it's if you ask 32 teams, would they like Trevor Lawrence on their roster right now? 25 of them at least would say, yes, I'll take him and I'll get rid of the guy I got. So it's the quarterback position is different. And really, if you've got the guy that looks the part, sounds the part, for the most part has led your football team to 2 winning seasons, I think the market establishes what he's worth going forward. That's
I mean, technically, CJ won one of those games, so it really wasn't a winning season for him.
Yeah.
Technically, the last 6 games of the season, he didn't win a game. Yeah. But I'm the guy who's been praising him and saying you got to pay him. But I'm just saying I'm also not a guy who's going to completely turn a blind eye and say he doesn't have problems, he doesn't need work. He doesn't need work.
But I just always like to qualify that team did not win those games. Okay, yes, they won one without him against the worst team in the National Football League, but it was that team that did not win.
And if he doesn't get injured against the Bengals, they're going to win that game.
Yeah.
So
because that defense, this defense, they made Jake Browning look like Joe Burrow that night. Okay, let him throw for 320 some yards, some crazy number. I have to go back and look because Trev threw for a bunch of yards that night too, but they just kept scoring. 34-31.
What you're doing essentially is you're betting. You're betting on him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's
what you're doing.
That's the only thing you can do. You're betting that he hasn't hit his ceiling yet, which I don't think he has. You're betting that he's going to develop and be an ascending player. And from all the things that you see of him, yes, he has issues. Yes, he's turned the ball over 60 times, but you can see that he's got it.
Talent.
Yes,
right,
he has it. So you're betting on him. You're betting on his future.
And you name the guys that you've had here. We've had here.
Yeah.
Bortles. You name them because you know them better than I do. Going back through the
but
years.
if you go,
but that's it.
Yeah. Because if you go playoff quarterbacks coach, like you just said, Mark Brunell, they had a 4-year run where he was quarterbacking. That's the last time this team has had back-to-back playoff seasons.
Correct.
In the 90s, not in the 21st century has it happened.
Yeah.
Mark Brunell, David Garrard, and you can attach Byron Leftwich to that because both of them were in that playoff run when you were.
I don't think Garrard had a back-to-back, did he?
No. I'm just saying. But Mark Brunell's the only one. And then as far as playoff quarterbacks go, you can go DG and Byron Leftwich because they split up that first one.
Right.
And then David Garrard had the second one, which you were here for. And then Blake, and then Trevor. That's it. And this team's celebrating its 30th year of existence. And you have, and really, you kind of like co-credit Garrard and Leftwich.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think you go out and pay just a guy because he's the only quarterback you've had in 30 years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think what Matt just said is if the guy shows that he's got everything that you need but hasn't quite done it yet, the market decides what you're going to have to pay him.
If you feel it's on you as much as him that you haven't put enough around him, and you feel like his future is going to be dictated by his talent and by what you can do to help him, you got to pay him. There's no other way around it.
Well, they did two things. They will have to pay him, and they had to go get those pieces around him, which is a center that's more capable than the one that was playing it last year, and a speedster in Brian Thomas Jr. So let's keep the theme going on that. We have a couple of text and comments on the chat. If you are a high school coach or you're a parent, let us know what you're thinking about the latest news. We'll tell you what the latest is being said about the NIL, but it is now approved in the state of Florida for kids on the high school level to receive NIL deals. So we'll get into that coming up. Larry Allen, let's spend a few minutes on him coming up because, Leon, you know him. Coach was around him for a ton, and I got one funny comment that we were digging up about him, so we will do that. He left us far too early at the age of 52 yesterday. It is XL Primetime on a Beaver Chevy Beaver Toyota Tuesday. We got Coach Campo hanging out with us in the 2 o'clock hour.
XL Primetime's Coach Dave Campo is brought to you by Bold City Heating and Air. Online at boldcityac.com. Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
We pretend to entertain.
They are the morning team known as The Drill.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry, is that funny? Are you stand-up comic?
Right here on 1010XL.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The summer's here, so let's talk about something sizzling. Making a Bacon 180 with a Waken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, or flexitarian. I'm not kidding, that's the thing, flexitarian. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe, and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others have. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Is your old AC trying to keep up with the Florida heat?
At JTM Comfort Services, they understand the importance of a reliable AC system. That's why they offer financing on qualified repairs and replacements. Don't suffer through another scorching summer. Upgrade now to a new, energy-efficient system. Visit jtmcooling.com to learn more and schedule your consultation. Veteran and family owned.
Your comfort is our name. Call my dad to keep you in the game.
Men suffering from ED or PE, see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call 904-664-8217, 904-664-8217.
Coverage and analysis of the 2024 off-season workouts on 1010XL is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The All-Pro Roofing phone line protects you from boring radio.
Hello? What are you doing here?
I don't know. Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
The calls have been pouring in.
On 1010XL.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances, that's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing has the highest wind and impact ratings available? If you want a stronger roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Learn more at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Hanging out on a warm Tuesday afternoon. Just remember, Florida Home, if it is not cooling you off, make sure you get in touch with them with Florida Home AC. We are cranking it out right now with our head coach, Dave Campo, Joe C., Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, and RJ, as we're looking at the OTAs and we're talking about a little bit of the NIL, which we will get back to with high school athletes now, ultimately. Being given the opportunity to receive NIL funds. Now, there are plenty of people responding as to whether or not Trevor should get a big deal, a multi-year deal, whatever it might be. You guys can keep hitting that 641-1010. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. And, of course, you can get in the MyBookie digital studios. You can stream us on YouTube and jump in the chat there if you would like. We'd like to hear it. But I do want to shift to both of you guys, Big Search, and I know that Matt has stories as well about Larry Allen, because we were thinking about it earlier. He's one of the toughest guys ever. Coach, you were around Larry Allen a number of your years as a coach in Dallas, and he passed away far too early yesterday.
Yeah, one of the disappointing thing was I had just come off the practice field with the Jaguars for the OTA, and when I'm around the field, that kind of rejuvenates me, and I felt good coming off the field in the sun, just thinking about training camps and all that I was at. And I get in the car and look at the phone, and that hit me. And I'll tell you, my phone blew up. You talk about a person that was well-liked by everybody that coached him and everybody that played with him. That was Larry Allen. And I know Leon has some story. You have a story. I've got a story. Everybody's got a story about Larry. So I'll let Leon start it off.
But here's an interesting thing that I used to do when I was a player. I used to watch film on different offensive linemen, all right, because I wanted to do what they did best and put it into my arsenal, right? Larry Allen might be the only offensive lineman I envied. And when I say envied, it's because when I saw him on film, I knew I couldn't block like that. I mean, he was a menace. He was a brute, bro. You're talking about a guy who played interiorly on an offensive line for 15 years, and he just dismantled a bunch of different defensive tackles he played against. Interesting story. I remember I was at Jerome Bettis' Hall of Fame induction, right? So it was a party where he had all the old school hip hop there. He had Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, and all this kind of stuff. And I was about to leave the party, and Larry Allen was sitting on like the back of a sofa, right? And he had his Hall of Fame jacket on, and he was like the Hawk, like he was damn near go rip through it because he was so damn big, or whatever, right? So we started chatting, we started exchanging stories like that and stuff like that. And so Larry Allen comes up to me and say, "Big Search, hey man, you ever just been in the groove?" And I was like, "Groove? What are you talking about, dog?" He said, "Man, I used to be Well, I would tell a guy if I'm beating a guy in the game, I would tell him the play's coming my way and you can't do a damn thing about it. And he said, you ain't never did nothing like that. I said, hell no. I said, my game wasn't that good. I couldn't tell the person the play coming my way and ain't nothing you could do about it. But that's what he was. He told that story, and it was just amazing to me. I mean, he's one of the greatest offensive linemen that ever played the game.
I've got that goes right along with the story I have for you. You know, and I got a lot of them. I'm gonna throw this one out here. You know, the guys used to play cards. A number of the guys used to play cards before curfew. You know, they'd be playing cards and this and that. And now I wasn't there, but I got the story, right? So they're playing cards. We're playing the Eagles the next day. So we're playing, this and that. So all of a sudden in the middle of the card game, Larry just starts smiling and laughing. And he goes to the next, he'd lose a hand and he'd still be laughing. And he just, looking up in the air and all these things. So at the end of the card game, one of the guys says, Larry, what are you cracking up about? What are you laughing about? He goes, I'm playing Reggie White tomorrow.
I don't know if I'll be laughing.
He was ready to go. I mean, that's kind of how he was.
I heard a story, and I'm going to see if RJ can pull up the one soundbite, which really cracked me up. It was Delaney Walker on the Raw Room podcast talking about Vernon Davis wanted to take on Larry Allen. Now, Coach, between Larry Allen and Charles Haley, those might have been the two scariest individuals to go up against. Yeah. But the one good story I heard is that Larry in meeting rooms, and Leon would always get credit for always being prepared, okay? You take everything seriously, you're prepared. Anyway, they said that Larry, he knew what his job was, but he kept asking questions, enough questions to make sure that other guys heard the answers enough to make sure that they would get it right.
Accountabilities.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just kind of ushering guys along, bringing them along.
That means you can't make any excuses for your poor play. I mean, he set the standard to where guys he couldn't come back. You know, the one thing I used to hate when he used to be in the huddle, I used to hate when guys say, "Oh man, my bad." No, that used to just aggravate me. My bad. No, not your bad. Get it done. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he did stuff like that because when you know the answer and you don't do it, then the question mark is you.
Yeah, that part I like.
I mean, you talk about the greatest offensive lineman in the history of the sport, history of the game, history of the sport. It's Anthony Munoz, it's Ron Yeri for the old schoolers, but he easily could be the guy that you say that's the best offensive lineman that ever played the game. I mean, 10-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and really should have been more than 6. Yeah. I mean, there's only 2 of them. So my guess is at some point they're just going to say, well, we can't keep giving it to him because he was the best. How long was he the best guard in the league, even the best lineman in the league, Leon?
For who was better?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, give me names.
10, 12, 13 years?
Yeah, I mean, only guy that, I mean, you had your Allen Fanekas. Allen Faneca wasn't Larry Allen.
No Hutchinson or any of those guys.
Yeah,
those guys were not.
Those guys listen, they were great. They were great offensive linemen, but Larry was just.
It's kind of like
in the class by itself.
Your DeMonte Dawsons, your Dwight Stevensons at that center position that just took it to another level.
He was a humble, gentle giant off the field, but he was a beast on the field. But I'm telling you, everybody loved the guy, whether they coached him, played with him. It's a shame.
So listen to this. This is from the Raw Room podcast. This is Delaney Walker talking about Vernon Davis ready to take on Larry Allen.
Welcome to the league moment. It probably have to be Larry Allen and Vernon Davis fight. It wasn't. They happened to me, but Vernon Davis was my homie, and he was about to fight Larry Allen, and I had to choose. Like, am I gonna help this man, or am I sit back and just let that happen? I had to let it happen. No way. I had to let it happen. Man, my man was the strongest man in the NFL.
You gonna need 4 or 5 to help me with this.
Well, I see my man grab my dog by the hair. I'm like, he didn't even care that he was grabbing the hair. I'm like, this a dirty fighter right here.
He a dirty fighter.
Let it happen. I had to let it happen.
All right, there's no way I would take on or join in.
Unbelievable. That is a great one right there. I've never heard that one, but that is a great one.
Well, even more credit to the Cowboys, the fact that Larry Allen, Sonoma State.
Yeah.
Bro, Sonoma State in California. Yeah. What was he, a third-round draft pick, Coach? Second-round draft
Late
pick.
second.
Sonoma State. To go in there, you're talking about going out, guys recruiting, guys finding guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
And we got we got him and Eric Williams and Leon Lett all at the same time.
That's true.
Wow.
And they were all.
What a draft that was.
Yeah. That's something else. It really is. And so we were, just thinking about that and some of the greatness. And the other one was Charles. Charles Haley was a scary human being too.
Yeah.
Which I know you know this.
Yeah.
And so you have to have those types of dogs in your locker room.
Listen, you got to have some dysfunctional guys in your locker room. You just do. But when I mean dysfunctional, I mean in a good way.
Yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, they're just scary to be around.
Yeah.
All right, but you know what? Greg Lloyd was that guy. All right, but Greg Lloyd was my guy. On my team. I knew he was. I know he was a but he was my what.
And as long as he's on your side,
exactly,
you had a better shot.
I mean, honestly, the greatest Larry Allen play ever was the chasing down the pick six.
Oh yeah, that's the one I always show.
That's the greatest.
Still the greatest ever. And it's just if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go on YouTube and do a search for Larry Allen.
At 3:30.
Yeah, chasing down a pick six against the Saints. Just amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, because you can think of the Big Bo play. Remember when Tony Vaselli ran him down before they got in the end zone? There's certain ones that I think it was a forced fumble, and he was able to catch him. Those don't happen. Those guys got wheels.
No, I was on Sirius Radio yesterday talking about Larry, and he they asked me a couple things that really stick out. Mm-hmm. One of them was that one.
Yeah.
The other one was when he benched to 700 pounds.
Whoa.
The bar must have been like bending.
Well, it bent some, but I'll tell you what, he threw that thing up there like it was nothing, and then got up and started smiling.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, we'll keep it rolling. We got one more seg with our head coach, Dave Campos, so we'll try and work a couple of more OTA thoughts in with what he saw yesterday. But how about some college football schedules? We'll get to the hardest as far as the prognosticators are concerned. Who has the toughest schedules in college football coming up in 2024? We'll talk a little CFB next on XLP.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
If you wear contact lenses and you're between the ages of 18 and 69, the Vision Research Center is looking for participants in clinical research studies. If eligible, you'll be compensated up to $50 per hour. I've done these contact lens studies for years. The VRC staff is wonderful and they work with my busy schedule. See if you qualify. Visit their website, 188visionok.com. 188visionok.com.
Prosser here. As you may or may not know by now, I did the research and decided to go with Jack's Concrete Coatings for my garage floor. OMG, as the kids would say. I can't begin to tell you how good it looks, how happy we are. We brag on it anytime someone walks in the garage. They had the job finished in one day with a lifetime warranty. That's right. As the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, the only company offering pure polyurea, I can't wait to do my patio deck next. Call 862-2000. That's the number, 862-2000, or jacksconcretecoatings.com.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
You go into your shower feeling
But as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day. And smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 4th, 1988, future Hall of Famer outfielder Rickey Henderson steals 2 bases for a record of 249 as a New York Yankee.
Attention veterans, if you have a VA loan, you need to listen to this, especially if your current rate is higher than 6.5%. Now is the time to take advantage of the federal government's VA Streamlined Refinance Program. With my friends at Loan Pronto, you can. Go to loanpronto.com. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto has fixed rate APRs in the 5s. You can drop your rate now. Lower your payment with no income documentation and no appraisal. Do it at loanpronto.com. Their all-digital platform makes it easy. They can even cover your closing costs. If you need cash now, Loan Pronto can get you up to 100% of your home value. You can pay off all your credit cards or other debt and save as much as $1,000 a month. Call Loan Pronto now at 904-999-1508 or get a 30-second rate quote at loanpronto.com. Ask about streamlined VA loans, no income doc, and no appraisal. Loan Pronto, 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Hurricane season is here. Protect your property from parking lot floods with Duck Duck Rooter. Our VACCON team specializes in storm drain maintenance, keeping your property safe and secure. Schedule service now, 904-862-6769.
It's the coolest week to save during the summer fan sale at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off all fans at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Showroom near the Avenues.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm 5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The Guardian calls it a comedy with a thrust of a well-tuned engine. Chicago Theater called it a whirlwind of mayhem, and the New York Times said it has no right to be this funny. The Alhambra Theater presents Boeing. Set in the 60s, tells the story of a ladies' man pilot and the 3 women who believe they are engaged to him. Sure to sell out? Get your tickets at alhambrajacks.com. alhambrajacks.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Hanging out until 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you miss any of us, you can stream us on YouTube. Easy, anytime, especially if you're hanging out, working out, whatever it might be. Throw it on the phone, throw it on the laptop, wherever you might be. Just go to YouTube and search 1010XL and XL Primetime. We're going to get back to some of the Trevor talk and OTAs before Coach heads out. As a matter of fact, Clarence from the 404 texting in says, I just don't get it. Why everyone hating on T-Law getting paid, but Herbert and Allen, which T-Law is 4-0 head-to-head against, it's okay to pay them. Local and national media so much hate, but he's 4-0 versus those two. Pay him. So we definitely will get into that. That's for sure. All right, now we want to get into some college football talk. We got a little that just happened that we will hit, and then we will set up our college football conversation.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is our nice segue into college football, off-ramp, if you will. Florida State v. Atlantic Coast Conference. Plaintiff Florida State University Board of Trustees and defendant Atlantic Coast Conference notified the court that they have reached the required stipulation as to mediation. So the first step has been taken. The first step in a long amount of steps in mediation, but this is how it begins.
Yeah,
this is how it begins.
Long and protracted with a lot of lawyers involved, correct?
Yes. I also think that before long you're going to see Florida State announce before August 15, which is that drop-dead date, that they will not be in the conference next year. That would be my guess.
Yeah, because that's the drop-dead. Middle of August is when they have
to notify them by August 15. If they don't, then they're going to be in the conference again next year.
Right, and they're notifying that they're not going to be in the following year.
That would be my guess, but that's just a guess again.
Right.
Who knows what happens with mediation, and you're talking about attorneys, and when attorneys get together, it's who knows. All right, so what we wanted to get into was ESPN's FPI, which they use for their rankings, all different kind of rankings, team rankings, position rankings. They did a schedule, and they also did their preseason top 25, which is what we're also going to get into too. But they did the hardest schedules in college football for 2024, according to their FPI, which is their own ranking system.
Right.
Of the top 25, 24 are from the SEC and Big Ten. The only school that's not is Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech is opening up against Florida State, has a difficult schedule that they have to play in conference and out of conference, so you certainly can make sense out of that. But you have Big Ten football, the cream of the crop, and you got the cream of the crop in the SEC. It shouldn't.
Well, it's not. We're not there yet either. I'm not done yet. Okay.
It shouldn't come as any surprise when you hear that many are from those two power conferences.
I'm not done yet. Of the top 10, 9 are the SEC. All right? Florida at 1, Mississippi State at 2, Georgia 3, Kentucky 4, Auburn 5, Alabama 6, 7, Oklahoma 8, Tennessee 9, Georgia Tech 10, Texas.
You know, I actually think Oklahoma should come in number 1 because they're finally going to find out what it feels like to play in the SEC week in and week out, Coach Campo. Week in, week out.
Oh, I can't wait to see it because I think Oklahoma will stack up against them SEC
Sure
boys.
They will. Yeah, of course they will. I mean, anyone who thinks either one of these teams are not going to – there will be a transition. Of course there will. They don't know what it's like. Look, winning on the road in this league, you go win 10-9. You take it and get out, man. You're happy. So I think that's going to be their biggest adjustment is learning how to win on the road in the league. But other than that, they have players. They have the support. They have the money. It's not going to be a problem for them. Either one of those teams.
No Miami to be found in the top 25.
Well, I mean, listen, the assumption is that the SEC is going to be tough. It's called Southern Hospitality. That's what it's called. No what ACC team in there? That's it.
Georgia Tech.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
and they're 9th.
Let's be honest now. When we went over your schedule, you went 7-0 before you even hiccuped.
Facts.
And you got scared of Duke.
And the hiccup was Duke.
Well, things happen.
That kind of shows your strength of schedule there.
Well, listen. As long as we're sitting at the table when it's all said and done.
The bottom line is 12-0.
Well, that's
it.
Yeah, you can come up with
no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, because you can come up with the scenarios. What would you rather see? Would you rather see a gettable schedule? This is the classic argument we always have. Saturday in, Saturday out. If you go toe-to-toe with the best, then you're going to be better for it. Or do you stay relatively injury-free and unchallenged and make sure that you go coast through a coast conference like the ACC and then get ready for the bigs once the playoffs
I will
start.
say this is that's one of the reasons why multiple coaches and athletic directors at the SEC spring meetings last week were talking about a 9-3 SEC team being in the playoff because they're saying, look, if you got 3 losses in this league as opposed to 1 loss or 2 losses in the ACC or the Big 12, that should hold more weight.
Okay, let's make this the 10-10 take, RJ, because I'm going to ask Matt this question because this is what it boils down to, Coach, and Searcy as well, because I just want to know how you're going to judge it if they're all considered level when it comes to power conferences.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
I found out what hunger pangs are. It's right there in the gut, and you're getting hungry, especially after Matt smoked up some of those delicious thighs. Well, you can head to any one of your area Sonny's, and you can pick up chicken, ribs, turkey, brisket, pork, whatever it might be. Make sure you load up on those sides as well. Check out any one of your area Sonny's. When you're heading home today, just pick it up and take it home for dinner. So, yes, a 9-3 Alabama should get a great deal of consideration to make it into the college football playoff because of the teams they play week in and week out. But if we're going to call them Power 4 conferences, we should treat them as equal. Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and the SEC. So a 9-3 record in the SEC, while I would agree with Matt that it's probably a hell of a lot better than a 9-3 record inside the ACC, when are we going to start looking at all of them as a level playing field? I don't think we'll ever get there. That's the 10-10 take. I don't think we ever will.
I don't know that you can look at them as a level playing field because they're
to tell you they are, and we know they're not.
Yes, but they're not. I mean, if you're going through the ACC or you're going through the Big 12, it's a significantly less road to travel than if you're going through the SEC or the Big 10. It's just, that's facts.
Well, let me ask you this question. There's going to be a lot of head-to-heads when it comes to the ACC and the SEC.
Yeah.
And we beat Florida, a couple of other opportunities.
Yeah.
That's got to be
Georgia.
That's got to be
absolutely.
factored in. Absolutely. Towards it. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. No doubt about it.
As long as we got a shot, that's all.
Well, there's a difference in finances too, right?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean,
that's why Florida State's dying to get out of the ACC.
What you're spending on your facilities, what you're spending for recruiting, all those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we know that the class of college football, generally speaking, all you got to do is look at the number of national championships that have come out of the SEC in recent vintage, and then you look at how few of the Big Ten schools that are able to get there. We've only seen Michigan and Ohio State and Michigan State get to the college football playoff. Is that right, Matt? I don't think we've seen anybody else, right?
Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then you got
and
Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You got Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And they're coming into the SEC.
Right.
And
so you've had a couple of other ones that have been able to basically step in, then step right back out. They were one-offs when you take a look at what, who was it, SMU a couple years ago. Those schools can pop in and then pop out. Yeah. But consistently speaking, the Big Tens, the SECs, those are the ones that are sending the most teams into the playoff.
Right.
And we'll find out where it goes this year. Texas is 10th, by the way, and Oklahoma is 7th as far as the hardest schedules in college football. So they'll both find out. Navigating that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not easy.
All right. What's the other one, real quick, that we needed to hit?
So the other one we needed to hit was, and we can take this into the next segment.
The next hour.
Because this is very intriguing to say the least. So the FPI, which we said is their own ranking,
power
their
index,
own football power index. It's their own ranking. All right. They have released their updated now top 25 going into the season, based on recruiting, based on transfer portal, based on additions, based on injuries, all of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been telling you that Billy Napier feels really good about his team, that a lot of people are starting to talk now about Billy Napier's team.
I hope so.
They got him at 20.
Oh, all right, so let's get into that coming up. Let's get into that. All right, before Coach goes, real quick, just a snippet on what you saw from the OTAs yesterday. We did a bunch of this on the Campo and Joe podcast, but you liked what you saw.
Yeah, well, the first thing that sticks out to me was communication on defense. There was a lot of yapping, which is good because they had the situation last year where they made a lot of mistakes alignment-wise, assignment-wise.
And not talking.
Yeah, without the communication. And, I think that stuck out to me a little bit. I think the speed of the receivers stuck out to me. I think a lot more play-action pass out of quarterback under center, which you get the deep crossing routes in. When you got guys like Thomas that can accelerate across, let me tell you, that's definitely. And the last thing I'll say, there's a lot of stuff, but the last thing I'll say in deference to time, a lot of base offense. And when I say base offense, I'm talking about 2 tight ends.
Saw a bunch of that.
Yeah, and Evan Ingram in the backfield, even when they were in 3 wides.
Right.
So I think that they've made a decision that they're going to run the football more. They're going to be more physical up front, and that's without any pads.
You got to like that.
Oh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think that they saw it last season. Last season, this team got manhandled on both sides of the ball. Another thing that I noticed was how big the interior of the defensive line is.
Exactly, and that's another one we talked about.
That's not bad.
No, I'm just, you know what? I'll believe it when I see it.
It's called off-season optimism.
I'll believe it when I see it.
And I told Coach earlier, I said, off-season optimism, capital O, because everybody is 0-0 right now.
Exactly.
Plus, we're almost in July,
anything
too.
Yet.
We're almost in July, which that's when July Joe
will take over. All right, Coach, you had Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. You had a great buying experience at Beaver Chevy.
Absolutely. I went down there today, and we were going to look around a lot of places for my daughter-in-law, my son getting her a car. The guy asked me, we bought a car from Beaver Chevrolet. Great experience. But the main thing was the guy asked me, how long have you been looking for a car? I said, about 30 minutes. That's all it took to buy a car from them.
Nice.
Great people. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a car, listen, Beaver, and I'm sure Toyota, which you do a lot in St. Augustine.
Yes, yeah.
But Beaver Chevrolet and Beaver Toyota, they do it right.
I love it. The Beaver boys are great people, that's for sure. And Linda there to wow you. I'm glad you had a great experience, Coach, that's for sure. All right, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We head into the 3 o'clock hour, and we're going to get to, as Matt said, overall preseason top 25, including everything, portal, recruiting, returning production. We'll do all that coming up in the 3 o'clock hour.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. He'll tell you about tonight's games and hot topics.
It's him.
Hacker After Dark.
I'm always punctual.
Live and local, even late night.
You're exactly the kind of hero the world needs.
Right after Rick Ballou. Evenings on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
This is Hayes Carlion for QC Kinetics. Are you not able to enjoy this summer as much as you want because of joint pain? Well, give my friends at QC Kinetics a call at 904-274-5522 for a free consultation. They're serving the Jacksonville area with locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move again, pain-free. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation, 904-274-5522 in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. That is QC Kinetics.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand-new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sports book. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Hey gang, a tougher housing market means it's crucial to hire the right agent to sell your home at maximum price. That's why I recommend Chad and Sandy Newman. Chad and Sandy have the plan and experience to sell your home fast and, most importantly for you, get maximum cash. Listen, problems lead to promises, lead to proof when you trust Chad and Sandy. Among those promises, Chad and Sandy, the only local real estate experts I trust and recommend, and this is why. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Problems that you think are problems are fixed with the promises of Chad and Sandy. Let's go now to some proof. Justin and Palatka, I was trapped in a mortgage with my ex-wife on a home that didn't sell for 184 days with another realtor. Finally, we hired Chad and Sandy, and the difference was instantaneous. We had multiple offers in 7 days and sold and closed in 16. So just do this, gang. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com.
June is Men's Health Month. I'm going to Ackerman Cancer Center this week for a total body MRI scan. Since the scan covers the bladder, kidneys, and prostate, the most common cancer areas for men. Be proactive with your health this month. Call Ackerman Cancer Center and learn more about total body MRI.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Florida, Florida State, and Georgia have all three advanced to the Super Regionals of college baseball. The Gators, the Noles, and the Dogs are among the final 16 teams left in college baseball. Florida State will begin play in the Tallahassee Super Regional on Friday at noon against UConn. Georgia begins play in the Athens Super Regional Saturday at noon against NC State. And the Gators begin play in the Clemson Super Regional Saturday at 2. You can hear the Florida broadcast against Clemson on 1010 a.m. Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 2:30. It's 89 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
So just a real quick disclaimer.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. Just like sometimes I don't know what RJ is playing. Okay, and I'm just now that is cool.
He starts the second hour every time with something we don't know.
But that's almost like a 9:45. You just ordered an espresso martini, and you just want to just kind of slide back in your chair just a little bit.
Who is this, Leon? You know?
No, I don't know.
Who is this, RJ?
A group by the name of MadCon with their song "Begging."
Because he starts
I
with
can
the
dig
mellow,
it. I
and
can
then we
dig it.
break into the hip, and I like it. But I'm just it hits me sometimes. Like, where's RJ going? Where's he going? And between John Party / Wham, trying to trying to 80s it out with his short shorts, and then RJ going into the the hookah lounge. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Well, I mean, they're saying that our era is coming back. It's fashionable again.
Yeah.
You know, which is cool.
I do love it.
He's so
shorts.
proud of his short shorts, man.
I do love it. Listen, short little
You got
fella.
to turn a little bit to the left, so I can't. Just
Short-
a little bit to the left. There you
Short
go.
little
Thank you. I
fella.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I being 69 inches tall, I need those short shorts. Okay, I need them. All right, let's get
I
to.
think he finally realized what I was talking about.
Oh yeah,
Just
believe
a
me,
little bit to
it's
the
a
left.
straight out of a Friends episode. All right, 641-1010. If you're into short shorts, you can hit it. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Let's get back to some college football. We need to talk a little bit about, as far as the College World Series is concerned, what's going on right now. Do you have a score?
Yeah,
You got
it's 5-2 Gators now.
and this is the Women's College World Series. They're going up against Oklahoma.
The
And
Women's
then
College World Series.
Florida with an unbelievable comeback yesterday. Actually, the way they were able to come back and win the regional out in Stillwater, pretty impressive stuff.
It's top 3. They've already hit 3 home runs. It's 5-2 Gators.
So,
Joe, this is your spring bling, baby.
listen, I'm
This
telling you what.
is your
The
season.
University of Florida was born to win championships, ... in the spring.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Last year it was golf. Last year it was runner-up in baseball, and they're back at it right
so
now.
if Florida wins this game, they then play Texas in the championship round.
Mhm.
Best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and that's Women's College World Series versus
Women's College World
yeah.
Series.
Yeah,
That's,
because it can get confusing. You know,
once
you
again,
look
it
at the
just means
scores,
more.
and it just throws you off just a little bit. But they're playing Oklahoma. Gators won over Oklahoma State yesterday to advance now to the Super Regional, and they are going to take on Clemson. You take a look at some of the – I'm going to pull these numbers up. As far as the ACC, we were kind of dogging the ACC a little bit earlier as far as the actual game of college football is concerned, and how a 9-3 record inside the ACC may not look as good as a 9-3 record inside the Southeastern Conference or maybe even the Big Ten when it comes to figuring out who's going to fill up one of 12 spots for the college football playoff. But the number of SEC and ACC schools in college baseball, pretty dang
It's
good.
high level. It's high level.
Yeah.
By the way, in the top 25, which we've already started, we're going to get into it now.
Mhm.
There are 5 ACC teams in this ESPN now FPI top 25 post recruiting, post transfer portal, post everybody moving.
Mhm.
The 5 ACC teams are FSU at 11, Clemson at 15, Louisville 21, the U at 23, and SMU at 25.
Wow. The guy's too low.
SMU is your new.
Oh, yeah, is it?
Yeah.
We'll welcome them. We'll welcome them. They can take a butt whooping like everybody else.
So
I like Rhett Lashley. I'm a fan. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got he came basically that second go around as an offensive coordinator down in Miami was what gave them enough confidence to go ahead and try and go get him and put him in a position to see if he could kind of match what was going on with the play calling. That's Big 12 play calling. If you think about it, he matches that pretty well.
So I'm going to give you the top 5, and let's see if we've got any kind of disagreements here. I think these are the 5 that a lot of people, basically I would think a majority of the people in their preseason polls are going to say, all right? Clearly Georgia is number 1, and I got some thoughts about Georgia. Oregon is 2, Texas is 3, Ohio State is 4, and Alabama is 5. Here's my thing with Georgia. We all know how talented they are. We know they have the best coach. We know they have the best quarterback, okay? But did they lose something last year? Did they lose a little bit of that invincibility with that loss to Alabama? Because let's face it, they were better than Alabama. They would have won the national championship. They would have beaten Michigan, okay? But they lost that game. So is there like a little chink in the armor right now as far as Georgia?
I feel like they are deep in the most important areas, which are lines of scrimmage.
I do too.
And I feel like Carson Beck is poised to have a
huge season.
Yeah, just a banner year. Confidence coming along with his playmaking, the way he and Mike Bobo just started to vibe towards the second half of last year. call sheet. Beck bought it, made the play. And anyway, I really felt like they were starting to put it all together with him. I thought they should have been in the college football playoff. They got ripped off.
But as a team, though, like when you lose to a game you shouldn't have, Leon, does it kind of take a little bit of that invincibility away? Like when you were in college.
Yeah, we shouldn't have lost to BYU. We were the number one team in the country that particular year. Yeah, it did because we were just coming off a national championship in '89, and we had all our returning starters coming back. We were locked and loaded on offense and defense. We had a Heisman Trophy candidate and Craig Erickson. So all things were rolling for us, and then to lose that game, it did show a sense of vulnerability because everybody thought we were just going to run the table again the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
That game was like, I'll never get over that game because that was such a panic move by Georgia to do. They did the double spy. Remember that on Jalen Milroe?
Yeah.
They had the double spy instead of just playing play your defense and pressure and sack him.
Look, as great as Kirby has been,
which
and
is what Auburn did the week before and should have won the game.
As great as he's been, and he's been a hell of a recruiter, a hell of a coach. He keeps his team on an edge that few have been able to do. Only other one you could really think of is Nick Saban, who he learned from. But if you think of a couple of moves that he's made in championship settings, and
just
I can go along with what you're saying.
Yeah, just strange.
And then you can go with the decision with the fake punt going back to another championship setting. That was a major
Are
mistake.
we really criticizing the coach who just won back-to-back
Probably
national championships and only lost 3 points to Alabama and should have played for it should have been in the Final Four? Who dropped from 1 to 6? That was outrageous.
It should have been 3 in a row.
Yes, it should have been 3 in a row. Absolutely.
They got ripped off by the committee.
Yeah,
they really did.
They got ripped off.
You got to at least look at it with a critical eye, do you not? That decision to play a double spy on Jalen Milroe and completely go away from what you did all season as far as pressure on the quarterback?
They lost by 3. Did you see what they did in the bowl game?
They had no
the bowl game
business
against Florida State.
Don't bring up Florida State in that perfect record. Don't
go there, man.
I can go there all I want. Their frustration.
Why you got to do that? Now we're gonna get on the text line. They're gonna start screaming about they didn't have their players. And they didn't have their quarterback.
They will be fired up.
But
river. One thing that you and I agree on is you can't go from 1 to 6 in the college football playoff rankings.
Not with the 2-time national champion.
Well, it never been done. The number one team had never lost and fallen out of the rankings.
It was a hose job
in the final week of the season,
and it just proves once again, and hopefully this will change when we get to a 12-team college football playoff, that they fix the results.
It's not going to change. It'll just be it'll be the number 8 team losing the last week of the season and dropping out.
But it'll be further away from the top, which won't be as bothersome, I guess, is what I'm saying.
It could be one of the top 4 moving out and missing out on the bye week.
Maybe,
which is huge.
Matt, here's the thing that was concerning to me: the commission who picked the people.
Right.
They told the eye test was the most important thing.
That's what they said in the last week. Correct.
And the eye test was to them that Georgia, who was number 1, who was on consecutively, they won games, back-to-back national champions, that they lost to Alabama by 3 points and dropped 5 slots, and they weren't the best 4 teams in the country. They told us to trust our eyes.
Well, they put weight on Washington's unbeaten season is what they did, and they put more weight on Texas beating
Alabama.
Earlier in the season, when Jalen Milroe wasn't anywhere near what Jalen Milroe was at the end of the season.
The 2 things they took was that Washington piece and that Texas beat the team that Georgia lost to. And this is what we argued. Georgia had the best loss, and Texas had the best win, both with identical records. And you know that you and I are in the same camp. And you know what it is? It's the College Football Playoff Committee talking to the TV execs saying, hey, do we want Alabama and Georgia in a matchup again? Do we really want that? We should probably stay away from that. Let's prove that we love the other conferences as much as we love the SEC. That's what they were worried.
Look, in a perfect world, it would have been you would have had something like, in the perfect world, being Jordan Travis isn't hurt. It would have been Michigan number 1. It would have been Georgia number 2, Florida State number 3, because they're going to play each other whether they're 2 and 3. It doesn't matter. And then number 4 would probably be Washington. So, I mean, that's what the perfect world would have done, but that's never going to happen because you're not going to see them drop the team that wins the SEC championship out of the playoff. That will never happen.
No, that will.
So that was the problem with that. Anyway, circling back, the whole point is I have this little thing that maybe Georgia's lost a little bit of that invincibility now. And maybe now other teams seeing that and seeing what happened, that might give you a little more confidence. They're still the best team. There's no doubt about it.
So here's where we are. And the beautiful thing that we did last week, I believe it was last week when we went through our field of 12. And once we get rolling in the college football season, XLP's top 12, we're going to do it weekly, and we're going to bang it out. But the one cool thing about it is that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, those weren't easy decisions to make. And we were talking about, returning production, recruiting, coach, everything that they've got. And so this is the FPI and what they put together with their top 25. You got Georgia 1, Oregon 2.
Love the Ducks, by the way.
I love the Ducks. Dylan Gabriel and Dan Lanning. I love both of them.
And their lines of scrimmage. Like, Dan Lanning's turning them into Georgia.
Go ahead.
No.
I was going. You haven't gotten to the school yet. But I was going to ask Matt this: when will the Ryan Day have to show and prove? I mean, if not now, when? Because
he has a deep roster.
That's what I'm saying. They're loaded. They have everything.
Except for the quarterback.
If he disappoints again,
so you see that, Leon?
Chirping?
Oh, they'll be chirping. There's no doubt about that.
So they got them fourth. Mm-hmm. So they got Texas ahead of them.
Yeah,
because Texas has the quarterback. And Ohio State is as deep as it gets.
I think Ohio State might have a better overall roster than Georgia, but Georgia's got a better quarterback. By a long way, better quarterback.
So the top 5 right now, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama. I'm a little interested in that one. And it probably is in large part because of Milroe, but they also lost some
DeBoer,
really
too. I mean, it's hard to ignore
players.
what DeBoer's done everywhere he's been.
You think of Julian Sain and Caleb Downs left Alabama to go to the team ranked just ahead of them.
Yeah.
And then after that, you go Penn State, Notre Dame, who was it, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and then Missouri.
It's a little high for Oklahoma, by the way. A little bit high.
I think we don't exactly know what
the
their
new quarterback, and
is.
they did not look that good in that bowl game with that new quarterback either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and look, Tennessee and Missouri, those are two teams that are going to probably duke it out to be one of those representatives for the SEC. If you're going to get 3 out of the 12 from the Southeastern Conference, they're going to have to duke it out. You make it more than that.
That's the only thing that's in the top 10. That's the only thing that's really odd for me is Oklahoma with Jackson Arnold as their quarterback. They got pushed around against Arizona in that bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going into a new league, and they're playing teams they haven't played before. They don't know these teams.
And
they don't know their personnel. They don't know their tendencies. No, they're not going to get pushed around, but I don't know if I'd start them out at 8. That's pretty high for Oklahoma.
I just mean they're going to get pushed around the lines of scrimmage.
I don't know about that.
A lot of
but all I'm
scrimmage
saying is it's, you know what I mean? Like when you're playing conference teams, the coaches know the players.
Oh, very much so.
They know what they can do in specific situations, and if you go in blindfold, which is what these guys are doing in these leagues, it's not easy.
Real quick, just to finish this out, Florida State is just outside the top 10, then Michigan, then LSU. You got A&M up there. Again, these are the total, like you could call it a composite.
Michigan too.
Yeah, Michigan is a huge question mark, man. You have a guy that was an interim coach that's taking over an undefeated national champion. That's not going to be an easy thing to do. That's Larry Coker coming in and taking over. Now, Coker had it rolling for a while, but he was dealing with a lot of good players.
Yeah.
And then Michigan also said goodbye to a lot of good players. So we'll see how long.
I don't think it's as much Sharon Moore as it is. They have a lot of holes to fill. They have a lot of guys that were critical on both lines
their
of
running
scrimmage.
back, their receiver, their quarterback.
Donovan Edwards is back, and Orji could be a good quarterback. You don't know anything about him, though. We know nothing about this cat.
Yeah.
So 12 is very high for Michigan, I think.
All right, we'll keep this going because we still haven't mentioned where Florida is, where Miami is. Ole Miss has been a darling in the offseason, so we'll touch on those coming up here in just a second. XL Primetime, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show every single day of the week. They are on the lot ready to take care of you just like they did Coach Campo earlier. BeaverChevrolet.com. They're on Phillips Highway. Beaver Toyota St. Augustine.com in the AUG right there on US 1.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
What are you doing down there?
I'm just looking for
1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Nimnick Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's Silverado truck headquarters. Frank Frangie here. With new shipments arriving daily, Nimnick Chevrolet has the best selection of Silverado trucks on the ground in town. Nimnick Chevrolet is conveniently located on the corner of Park and Cassett Avenue or online at nimnickchevy.com. Nimnick Chevrolet is family-owned and operated. No one cares more about their customers before and after the sale. That's Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. WaterBoyJAX.com.
Prosser here. As you may or may not know by now, I did the research and decided to go with Jack's Concrete Coatings for my garage floor. OMG, as the kids would say. I can't begin to tell you how good it looks, how happy we are. We brag on it anytime someone walks in the garage. They had the job finished in one day with a lifetime warranty. That's right. As the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, the only company offering pure polyurea, I can't wait to do my patio deck next. Call 862-2000. That's the number, 862-2000, or jacksconcretecoatings.com.
How nice would it be not to worry about your AC unit for 10 years? What? Vaughn's Heating and Air, standing by their units for 10 years. Imagine not having to think about your AC unit for a decade. Vaughn's 10-year warranty covers the parts, labor, and refrigerant. Basically everything. No fictional problems that will cost thousands. This is legit. An AC unit with no repair costs. Wouldn't that be nice? So remember, if your AC unit won't turn on, just call Vaughn's. That's Vaughn's Heating and Air.
Folks, the First Coast has voted. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to be chosen as Bold City's best in 4 categories: Best Orthopedic Practice, Physical Therapy, Pain Management, and Foot Care Clinic. For the last 30 years, JOI has continually strived for the highest level of orthopedic surgery and rehab care. As the needs of the community evolve, so will they. That's why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Call them at JOI 2000 or visit JOI.net. JOI, where the pros go.
I open the door and take you inside the locker room to get you closer to the field, the players and coaches you care about.
Get a look at Hayes' blog on 1010XL.com.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reich Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sports book. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
A no-risk, all-rewards path to real weight loss. If you're not happy with your Awaken 180 results in the first week, get 100% of your money back. No risk, but every reward. With the solution for weight loss, Awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
We got to get to a couple of NFL notes, particularly with the idea that Trevor may be next in line to cash a big contract, or will it be Tua? Hard to say. We've been talking about college football playoff and where some of these teams rank with that overall ranking, returning production, just everything they've got, the recruiting, the transfer portal, everything. And Miami and Florida are among these rankings, Leon.
I saw that.
And like when you saw it, what did you think as far as where they were and did they belong where they were?
Well, I mean, Matt and I was talking about this off the air a little bit. He said that the closer and closer this game, I mean, because right now we're talking under 90 days, all right? Yeah. Under 90 days. The closer and closer we get to this matchup between Florida and Miami, I mean, the juices are going to start stirring. I like that both teams are going to be ranked. I would love for both Florida and Miami to be ranked. It's going to make the magnitude of the game is going to be even that more important for both programs. Whoever loses in that opener,
remember we were growing up in pro wrestling. They had the Texas steel cage matches.
I remember that.
It's going to be one of them.
Yeah, that's
what that game's going to be like. The Texas steel cage.
Like
match.
We said, one.
Yes. It's going to be Jack Briscoe against whoever, Austin Idol. One of those things, man.
It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Only one person's walking.
I'm looking forward to going because the last time I went to the Swamp, it was on an unofficial visit to Florida. And me and Tony McCoy and another guy went to an unofficial visit. I was on the sideline, and it was 1986.
Yeah, you need to get your butt back and find out what good football is all about as far as atmosphere goes.
Well, good football is in Coral Gables when I was there.
All right, so rounding out the top 15, Florida State, Michigan, then LSU, A&M, Clemson, 15th.
Wait, don't just go right over that real quick. Like, A&M's at 14.
Well, you know what? We can chop up these rankings. I'm not giving A&M.
No, all I'm saying is that you're talking about a team that wasn't even over 500 last year.
Yeah.
Okay? Fired its coach, paid him $80 million to leave, hired a new – I love Mike Elko.
I'm a big Mike Elko fan.
But they're 14 in the nation?
Yeah, but this is the thing that's kind of comical.
Connor Wigman's a really talented quarterback.
Yeah, he's a very good player, so give him some love.
Yeah.
And if Mike Elko can go back to coaching defense, they got a chance. But the
By
reason
the way, Connor Wigman also with the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
Denny Thompson.
Works here in Duval. But the reason I'm glossing over it is because I need to see it from the A&M side of things. I definitely am an Elko man. But if A&M is among the top 15,
the next one is the weird one.
Florida is among the top 20.
Look at number 16.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss should be in the top 6 or 7.
Look, it's theirs. It's
their FPI.
Yeah, and so they come up with a variety of things. Like I said, I believe Ole Miss's quarterback room is as good as there is out there. Pretty dang good. Jackson Dart really came on strong at the end of last year. And you take a look at what he's been able to do. Lane Kiffin in the transfer portal, he's done a tremendous job. But Clemson is ahead of them, and there's really no reason Clemson should be ahead of Ole Miss right now.
I mean, Ole Miss got better. Clemson infamously or famously, whichever way you want to look at it, added nothing from the portal.
So it has Ole Miss 16th. It has Kansas. The Jayhawks are expected to be really good. Southern Cal, Auburn. I have no idea why they're there. I'm a big Hugh Freeze fan.
These kids just don't fly by that so quickly, man.
Yeah.
So you've got Southern Cal, which again won 8 games, but they've got a brand new quarterback. I think Miller Moss is going to have a good year. Actually,
but there's no reason they should be there.
Right.
And they got smoked defensively.
You got Auburn. Auburn still doesn't have a quarterback.
No. Well,
I think Peyton Thorne's a tough guy that overachieves. I don't think he's a guy that can win enough games in the SEC where they're the 19th team in the country.
Well, this is screaming there aren't enough good teams to put in the preseason top 25 that they're kicking out with these analytics, which is the returning production.
Well, I don't think it's out. Here's the thing. Where's Utah in this? Utah's nowhere in this top 25.
They're ignored, forgotten. Not a good story. And by the way, Cam Rising coming back is a good story.
There's no FCS school in there? Appalachian State, Liberty?
No.
They're not going to be any good?
Liberty's going to be really good.
Going to be.
I
was just thinking there's no.
too.
I mean, usually there's no FCS school.
No, they don't have any there.
Oh, okay.
There's no Sun Belt. There's no AAC.
Low school.
This is all about the big boys, the Power Four. So they're jamming Southern Cal and Auburn and Florida among the top 20. There's really no reason to say Florida deserves top 20 ranking right now. And this is again preseason with the FBI that ESPN's put together. And then after that, Louisville, the Kansas State Wildcats,
Louisville again with a lot of questions at quarterback.
Yeah, they got to replace a fair amount of talent there. But
Kansas State's a good Kansas State's team to watch. Avery Johnson's going to be a hell of a player.
Arizona, big question mark. And then SMU, like I said, I'm a Rhett Lashlee fan.
I think the U could be very good, honestly. And I'm not just saying because Leon's our partner here. I think they have the pieces. They can get after the quarterback. And if Cam Ward is the guy that, multiple people are telling me he is, or has been, I should say, in the last 4 months there, Miami's got a chance to make a big jump this year. A big jump. And I'm with you. I'm on the outside thinking I'll believe when I see it.
Exactly.
But the Canes they have the talent on that team.
They're the 4th highest rated ACC team in this, if I have that right, because I believe you've got Florida State at the top as far as the highest, but they're still only 11th. Yeah, and then you have Louisville checking in before them, which I don't know. I probably would put the U ahead of Louisville, even though Louisville made it to the championship game last year. Maybe that's why they get a little.
So this is my thing with Ole Miss. Okay. Not only are they better offensive, first off, Trey Harris might be the best receiver in the league, okay? They also added Juice Wells. Remember Juice Wells from South Carolina?
Yeah, really good player.
Blew out his, I think it was his ankle first week of the season, didn't play all last year. Jordan Watkins is another terrific receiver. They also added Walter Nolan, who many people think was the best player in the portal, the big D tackle from A&M.
Still haven't seen him do a lot.
They got Princely Walter Nolan. You're thinking of Princely Emmanuel, maybe. Walter Nolan was a good player last year. They got Emmanuel, who you may not like.
Yeah.
They got Chris Paul, who's one of the best linebackers in the SEC at Arkansas last year. They've really upgraded defensively. Like Ole Miss is going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I am a fan, a hottie toddy all day. I'm a fan, and he was able to add to both sides of the ball. Kiffin is not just an offensive guy anymore. He's not just a toss it around guy anymore.
No, they
run the football. The lines of scrimmage are pretty good.
I don't know what's more strange to me about this top 25. Auburn and Florida at 19 and 20, or Ole Miss at 16.
I would say Florida in the top 20. that is a flipping mystery right now.
But that's the reality. I'm telling you, there are more people now starting to turn toward. Look, he's got his guys there. They're young guys, but they're talented guys. The guys on that defensive side of the ball, guys like T.J. Searcy, guys like the other kid, the other end, Collins. They like what they've got there. Well, and they've got a good young secondary too that they like. Again, I don't know how much of an impact Ron Roberts can make. Can he be a guy to turn Chris Farley's defense into something that's knows where the ball is and knows how to tackle and knows how to take angles? If that's the case, then they've got a chance because they've got a quarterback who's proven he can play in that league. They've got receivers. Look at their receivers now. The kid from Arizona State's a great pickup.
Badger.
You got Badger. You got Chimere Dike from Wisconsin's a great deep ball guy, another great pickup. And then you've got Trey Wilson, who is elite.
Yeah, and Trey Wilson is a superstar, budding superstar if he stays healthy and they get him the football. But you have all these other guys that are going to try and poke their head in from time to time and make a play. The Marcus Burks of the world, those guys that'll step up. And if they can do that, then they got a chance. And that's that personnel through and through. But you're going to have to convince me that the lines of scrimmage are better. We talk about here in Jacksonville that the departure of Mike Caldwell and the arrival of Ryan Nielsen is going to change this defense dramatically. We got to see it. And so the same thing with Roberts coming in.
Yeah, of course.
And helping.
I can tell you this: the Gator fans out there right now that are kind of like a little nervous. As long as there's no crazy injuries in August, by like the week before the Kane game, they're going to be talking about 9 wins, 10 wins maybe.
The belief meter will start to rise.
It's absolutely going to rise. Absolutely going to rise.
And look, Leon, you guys, what was the record of Miami last year? 500 football, right?
Yeah, 500 at best.
And so both teams are trying to figure it out. Which is ready to take the quantum leap? Maybe a big step forward is a 2 or 3 win gain. I'm not even sure what the ultimate record will be when it's all said and done.
Well, here's an interesting thing that Mario said to me off the air when I was waiting down the hall, waiting for him at the Amelia Island. He said that at the line of scrimmage, he said, you remember how we used to get after it pretty good at the line of scrimmage, offensive, defensive line? He said, we got that back again. And that was very interesting that he said that because he always felt that when he came to Miami that the competition within the line of scrimmage was not up to par the way he thought it was. So he had to build it back to that point where, because look, the one thing I know about when Miami football is good again, they control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. So, he was telling me off the air, he said, we got it back to where we want to. So now I got to see it, though. I got to say, you can't just tell me anymore.
You can't give away games. You can't give away like the Georgia Tech game. That was a giveaway game. There are people who think the Louisville game was a giveaway. So there's
say it where they
You can't do things like that. You've got to win games and they did. They beat Clemson in overtime. They beat who was it? Virginia in overtime too. I remember that. That would have been a giveaway game.
Yeah.
But they've got to win the games they should. Like when you become a good to great team at any level, you win the games you should. And then you win your share of the 50-50 games.
And those are Mario mistakes too.
Of course they are. Yeah.
He's really got to sort out. All right, you guys keep it going on the text line. One on the text line made me laugh. Cam Rising is sold. He remembers when Nebraska was good. Cam Rising is coming back after that significant injury, missed all of last year. Still a very good story and a very good player when healthy, so we'll see. But I do agree, Utah kind of got jobbed as far as this goes. But again, that's just one site's opinion. All right, 641-1010, you guys can jump in on that subject. Back to the OTA discussion that we were having with Coach Campo. We'll wrap up that part of our show. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show. We got the Francis Show coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
I think we're ready for a tournament.
We are so flipping good.
Attention Googans, come drive, drop, and dink with the drill Friday, June 14th.
That's our first tournament.
At the Fruit Cove Recreation Club. Cash prizes, free swag, beginner's clinic, and Jeff E.T. and I in an exhibition match.
It looks so easy.
Go to thefruitcove.com and click on the 1010 flyer. To sign up your men's, women's, or mixed team, that's thefruitcove.com.
We are so good at pickleball.
Sponsored by good friends at Injury Care Centers and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Is your old AC trying to keep up with the Florida heat?
At JTM Comfort Services, they understand the importance of a reliable AC system. That's why they offer financing on qualified repairs and replacements. Don't suffer through another scorching summer. Upgrade now to a new, energy-efficient system. Visit jtmcooling.com to learn more and schedule your consultation. Veteran and family owned.
Your comfort is our name. Call my dad to keep you in the game.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality products. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jags fans, the schedule's finally here, and you don't want to miss these matchups. Whether you want to become a season ticket member, catch 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or experience the season with Prowl Pass, there's a plan for every fan. Get locked in by going to Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Experience Jaguars game day your way at the bank this fall.
This State in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 4th, 1988, future Hall of Famer outfielder Ricky Henderson steals 2 bases for a record of 249 as a New York Yankee.
Coverage and analysis of the 2020 workouts on 1010XL is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Make every day brighter, every laugh louder, and every moment memorable at the YMCA. More than just the gym, the Y is a community where you can dive into fun, fitness, family time, and make new friends all under one roof. With complimentary youth sports, childcare while you work out, summer camp savings, and more, the Y is the best value for families. Join the Y today and grow stronger together with amazing summer membership savings for a limited time. Find details at fcymca.org.
Thinning or balding hair? Introducing Scalp Micropigmentation now at IHRS. SMP is a procedure for men and women, looks like your own growing hair, and corrects thinning areas. SMP is perfect for men and women who shave their head and want a full head of hair look. Call IHRS now, 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I really like him. Obviously, just talented, can fly. He's
really smart. I think that's the one thing I'm most impressed with is he's picking up the offense super fast. He's a quiet guy, so we're still, getting him to ask questions and stuff. But, he doesn't ask any questions. He always knows what to do. So I've been impressed. That's tough for a rookie. I was there, obviously, at one point, and I was swimming a little bit. And to see him come out here and pick everything up and really not skip a beat has been impressive. And then the more comfortable he gets in the system and knows what to do, he's just going to get better and better.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That was 16 yesterday, talking about his new weapon, the wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. That cut courtesy of Jaguars.com. And Trevor hit a lot of things. He hyped Gabe Davis with the experience that he brings, and then a number of other things. Mitch Morse definitely talked about him. But when you get Brian Thomas and Leon, this will be if Trent Baalke can get this one right. Remember, they were able to trade down, gain a pick, and still get a deep receiving threat. That will be their best answer to saying goodbye and not paying Calvin $50 million guaranteed, and all these other guys getting big money. You hope Brian Thomas,
I hope he
4
is.
years from now, is getting that kind of cake.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure on the first-round pick. I mean, but you saved yourself $70 million. His guaranteed money, probably his rookie deal is probably about 20, and you're talking about Ridley's was 90. All right, so you saved yourself $70 million allegedly. But this kid, there's a lot of pressure for this kid to be the number one. He's got to take the top off the defense with his speed and being able to catch the ball. So,
all right, so you've been out there.
But LSU wide receivers, if you look at them,
they're good.
The last 5 years, they've been great.
Yeah,
they've been great.
Okay, you've been out there at OTAs. When you watch him, again, it's just he's running on air and he's running 7.7s. Okay, so you got some kind of competition there. Is he blowing you away?
He is. I mean, he's smooth, he's big, he's fast. I mean, what I've seen from him, he's the goods. Sort of say he's the goods. And I noticed the last time I was at OTAs Monday, I don't know if Trevor was gesturing him about a route and how to run it. But I know they was on the sidelines and Trevor came to him and talking about, I guess it was an in-cut, whatever route he was running, whatever. And Trevor was kind of talking to him about, this and that, whatever. I was trying to be nosy, but I wasn't close enough.
But that guy, if he can play with confidence and he's capable, then he pulls defenders off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And last year towards the end, no one was really fearing what Jacksonville was trying to do. They couldn't run the ball. You could basically divide your attention among Ingram and Ridley at the end because the other guys were injured.
Well, the one thing you can't question is this kid's productivity. You get 1,717 touchdowns in the SEC, it's pretty dang good.
Yeah, it's doing work. It really is. And so, the essence of it is that you hope that Baalke gets it right and you're having to pay this guy 4 years from now. Because right now, sitting out there are Brandon Ayuk, which, remember, we talked a ton leading up to the draft. Hey, would you rather go get that guy right now that you know is legit and good, but you got to pay him and give up that first-round pick, or would you rather try and get a guy in the first round? And they made an attempt to keep Calvin. They may have made a play for Brandon. We don't know. But you would have to imagine there were some back-channel conversations going on, hey, what would it take if he were to become available, that type of thing. But this guy, if he is the opposite of Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, all these guys in the pattern, and you can throw Gabe Davis into this conversation, bottom line is you got 3, 4, maybe even more than that, legit guys that can make plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think he looked good in the brief, whatever you can take from OTAs.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that, I mean, Christian Kirk looks really good.
He does.
Christian Kirk looks like a dude on a mission right now. And that's, I mean, if you're a Jags fan, that should make you very, very happy because when that guy's good, they're good.
And you could probably throw in that leadership quality with him because he could be that guy. He could be that guy that is the leader of that wide receiver room. And he is a favorite of T-Law's for sure. His two favorite guys to get the ball to are Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. And you know what amazes me? Christian Kirk is not the tallest cat, but that ball finds him. He's in traffic, and that ball finds him.
He's also got that ability, the after the catch ability. You know, he's got that burst. He's got that little juice. That's
and
that's everything.
What I would like to see, and we won't really know until training camp, is if this team is now going to use the middle of the field more. Because they really didn't. Not enough.
Yeah.
And if you could get Ingram and Christian Kirk, those two guys, to use the middle of the field, and then with, like you said, what was it? You were saying the crossers with Brian Thomas?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Trevor needs time.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. It's the only way that ball's
at the end of the day, that's we can talk all we want about receivers and how this guy looks and that guy looks and how Trevor looks. And Trevor didn't miss a throw yesterday. I'm telling you, he did not miss a throw yesterday. So we can talk all we want about that, all that stuff.
The interior
they
three.
Can't protect him.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Forget it.
All do training camp. I mean, yeah, I know everybody likes to watch the wide receivers and routes and all that kind of stuff, but I'm looking at the interior three and how they operate.
Okay, and the one thing that absolutely we know is a fact is the only way a guy's going to get 30 yards down the field is to have 3 seconds.
Exactly.
Okay, you got to have that. We got about 3 seconds to do this.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
My cool down is relax. Just because the high schoolers get NIL, apparently the coaches might be getting something as well. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said today, Florida coaches, quote, need to be paid more.
My takeaway is I love that. Say it, Ron, and mean it, because it's true. Because these guys, these gals, these coaches, my godchild, Chelsea, over at Atlanta Coast, just had a brand new baby. Congrats to her and David, but she's coaching on beans. And so they all need to have, and it's tough, and you know it.
Yeah, I know. I used to be one of those high school coaches down in Miami, only making $800 a season. All right? So, yes, you're talking about the most recruited, the most kids that go to the pros, is the state of Florida. So you should pay the coaches.
Yeah, and head coaches are making.
Plus, those guys, they're leaving to go Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and you get paid better there.
Yep, but the NIL is now apparently part of our world in the state of Florida. So there you go. All right, we are done. We say thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. They will take care of you every single day. They are there to wow you, just like they did Coach Campo with his purchase earlier today. Check them out, BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com, BeaverChevrolet.com. Brett and the boys, Nick and everybody, they always want to make sure you get a great buying experience. We're done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Leon Searcy, and R.J. Saunders. You got the Francis Show coming up next.